y'all, welcome back to Homemade Simple. I'm really glad you're here today. I thought we would take a break this week from talking about budget meals and cooking and turn our attention to something that is just as important, and that is managing our money so that we can live on less, which will allow us to save for the future and also limit the kind of consumerism habits that tend to plague our culture today. Research for this topic. I wanted to sort of know about the way Americans tend to spend their money. And I was really shocked at some of the numbers that I came across. One study said that we spend $75 billion, 75 and then 9 zeros after it, on just luxury items alone. And I also found out 58% of Americans say that they could not pay an unexpected bill that was $1,000 or more. So that to me means that the average American, more than half of us, do not even have $1,000 set aside for emergencies or unexpected expenses, which means that most of us are spending way more than we need to. That's what we're going to talk about today, living on less so that we can have a peace about the future. I did a little bit more digging and I was able to find sort of a rundown of the average American's non-essential spending on a per month basis. And what I found was really surprising and eye-opening, and I think it can really be encouraging to us, because if I see myself overspending in these categories, it's not impossible for us to make some adjustments in our behaviors and habits that will have major effects on our ability to save for the things that are important for us and also save for our future. The average American spends $770 in restaurants every single month. $770. That is a lot. That's a lot. I'll link the study down below so you can go and look at the numbers. I did not fiddle the numbers. I did combine some categories. So the restaurants and eating out includes things like coffee shops and delivery services. $770 per month average is incredible. We could do a whole lot with that money, especially if we were to be mindful about the way that we used it. And then also, it showed that almost $200 per month was spent online or on impulse purchases. Almost $100 was spent on personal care each month. So I'm assuming that personal care means stuff like getting your hair done or getting a manicure or a pedicure or a facial. People spend $90 on subscription boxes. I can see, because there's so many and so many options, where we would really enjoy having that surprise factor of somebody packing a box for us and sending it. Cable TV, streaming services, almost $150 are spent every month on those kinds of expenses. And bottled water. The average American spends $20 per month on bottled water. And I can see where this would be a necessity in some situations. I mean, we're all aware of what happened in Ohio with the train derailment, and that water is not safe to drink, and we do need some emergency supply of water. But I don't really think that everybody needs to be spending $20 per month on bottled water. I think I've done the math before when we got our water bill, and I feel like our water bill seems to be pretty high, but it's like a penny a gallon or less. So $20 can buy you a lot of gallons. And I just think that this shows the level of improvement that we can make in our monthly budgeting if we just really buckle down and think about it and work on making some changes and adjustments to the way that we spend our money. I really feel like each one of us, especially me, can make some improvements and can really start to see substantial benefits from living on less each month. So I have some ideas. I've written down about 25 ideas for us to live on less without really feeling like we're having to give up all of our conveniences or have zero entertainment for the month. I know that you all have really good ideas, and I think that we're just gonna scratch the surface in this video. So I want to make sure that you are able to have your ideas heard. That's what I want us to do here, is to be a community of people that help one another and encourage one another on our journeys. And this topic is so broad that there's no way that I could come up with all of the great ways that we could better use our money or that we could limit the expenses that we have. So please be willing to share all of your frugal living and budgeting ideas down below. Number 1 on my list is making a monthly budget. And it's not enough to make a budget, you have got to stick to the budget. I know a lot of us do not enjoy making a budget at all. I know that it can really cause some anxiety to form in us, and I know that it's really difficult to just face up to the fact that we've been living on more than we really have available and that we are struggling in this area. So if you get anxiety when it's time to talk about the budget, I completely understand, and I'm there too. But what I will tell you is that from my experience, that anxiety is greatly reduced after you start living on a budget and committing yourself and your family to a plan. You will feel so much more confident and so much less anxious about finances in general. We had a couple of years ago gotten to the point where I was afraid to open bills. The medical expenses had started to grow and grow and grow, and it just got to a place where I could not deal with the anxiety anymore. And it has taken a long time for me to readjust and sort of put that behind me and be able to really cognitively process what our budget is, what our finances really are, and how I can best use the money for our family's current and future benefit. So if you are anxious when it comes to sitting at the table, writing down all of your income, writing down all of your expenses, and if that causes you anxiety, just know that it's not going to last forever. But if you don't get a handle on it, that anxiety is going to eat you up. So the best thing to do is just to accept and understand what your reality is and then deal with it as best as you can. A month at a time, deal with the circumstances that you find yourself in, and you will climb your way out of this anxious hole before you even know it. It's going to be rocky, you're going to make mistakes, but when you begin to budget, just know that in month 3 and especially month 4, if you stick to it, you're going to feel much more comfortable. Your anxiety level is going to go way down, and it's going to be much easier to be able to communicate about your finances without feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and anxious. Number 2 is just buying less. We can all find a few things that we purchase every month that we really do not need. And if we are going to live on less, the easiest way for us to do that is to buy less. Number 3, find the best option for the items that you do need to purchase. Price is not always the only thing that needs to be taken into consideration. If you buy something that's $3, but it's a piece of junk and you have to buy it 4 different times, then buying the $8 item that will last you over the long haul really is a smarter financial decision, and it will really allow you to live on less in the long run. Number 4, buy used if possible. I really find that places like the thrift store, yard sales, estate sales, you are really going to find good quality items at a substantial discount from going to Amazon, Walmart, or the mall to buy the same item. Number 5, find free or very inexpensive entertainment options for you and your family to enjoy together. Things like just building a campfire, going outside and stargazing, finding an inexpensive movie, or renting from a place like Redbox. There's always coupons for free rentals there. Although I will say it's probably harder to find a decent movie without filth in it than it is to find a Redbox coupon. Going to a park and having a picnic or a play date. There's so many wonderful things that you can do in your area for very little to zero money. If we do some of these free or very inexpensive things instead, we will save that money and also will make even better memories. Number 6 is to find cashback apps that really help in your quest to spend less whenever you're shopping, especially when you're shopping online. Another way that we can be sure to live on less is if we make saving a priority. And I know that that's really hard sometimes when our kids are small and there's so many things that we need to spend money on, and there's so many different things pulling at our finances. But if we can just set aside a certain amount, even if it's a very small percentage of our take-home pay, for saving either for retirement or just saving for a cushion for our emergency fund. It will really help us if we take that off at the beginning and just learn to adjust our living based on the amount that is left after we take out for savings. Number 8, shop with a list. When you go into a store, their job is to make sure that you leave with their merchandise instead of your money. Just be aware that they are trying to get your money, and only shop with a list. This is especially true when you're grocery shopping. Just try to keep your blinders on and only shop for the things that you really need. Number 9 is something that we talk a lot about on this channel, and that is meal planning. We can save so much money if we just have a plan for our mealtime. That plan could really include simple, easy, convenience meals that you factor in for a busy week. So if you're going to have a busy week and you know that on Tuesday night you're not going to have time for a lot of meal prep, buy some chicken nuggets and french fries at the store, or buy a pizza at the store, put it in your freezer, and it'll be there to catch you whenever you're in one of those really busy days. But it will save you from having to go by Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King, you name it, on your way to wherever you have to be rushing off to. Number 10, there are free streaming services that can completely wipe out your need for cable. You do not need cable. Have you ever heard of Pluto? I mean, this is not an advertisement for Pluto. There's lots of other options as well. Pluto is an online streaming service that you do not have to pay for, but has really good content. It's a lot of variety of content, just like you get on cable TV, but you do not have to pay $90 a month for it. You actually pay $0. So just get rid of it. It's taking so much of your money. It's also just a black hole of time waste. Number 11, set spending freezes for different sections of your normal expenses. My family likes to do this for eating out. It's something that we've done several times. Like in January, we will say, okay, we're not spending any money eating out. We like to eat out, so I'm not against setting aside money in your budget for eating out. But whenever we do these spending freezes, it just shows how creative you can actually be And it really stretches your imagination to the point where I think there's so much benefit in these kinds of things, because you are able to think more critically about what's really going on with wanting to eat out. Are you bored? Are you hungry? Are you tired or worn out? And it really sheds light on different things that you can get to the bottom of and correct and really improve your finances long term. Some that are easier to do would be eating out, clothing, hobbies. Let me know in the comments below what spending freeze category you think would be the easiest and which one you think would be the hardest. Number 12, use the free resources that are available to you. So these are going to change and differ based on where we live and the governments and agencies that are available to each one of us in the different places that we live. But here I know the library system is really a good place to go for free resources. You can even go to the library and use the internet. So if you are really needing to rock bottom your budget, you can get rid of the internet and just go to the library whenever you need to use it. Summer's coming up, and there's also a lot of opportunities for like different outdoor concerts from a symphony that might be in your area. There's so many free opportunities to do things in your area. Take advantage of those free resources that are available to you in your particular area. It's really simple and easy to find the options that are available, and I think that you might be surprised if you look into how many free or really inexpensive resources are available to you. Number 13, this is something that is going to be more needed for some of us than the others. But if you want to live on less, a really important thing to do is to stop spending money just to impress other people. You will know that you want to impress somebody if you choose an item based on the brand, because you know that somebody is going to know that you spent more money on it, and not because that brand is known for its high quality. So if I was going to go and buy a purse, which y'all are going to think this is crazy, I don't even own a purse. I probably need to rectify that. But if I was going to go and buy a purse, I would go to the thrift store and I would buy a purse that is the most suitable for my need. Like, I embarrass my kids because I wear a fanny pack. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong to go and get a nice purse. My mom loves nice purses, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you are trying to live on less, going and buying a $1,200 purse is probably not going to help you get to that goal, especially if the only reason that you're going to buy that $1,200 item is because you want other people to think positively about you. The reality is, people are not going to think good or bad about you long term because of the things that you own. People are going to think good or bad about you because of the person that you are. And I think long term, that will just help us all. If we can stop caring about what other people think about the things that we own or don't own, and do the things that are best for our family, for our family's finances, and for our family's long-term success. Number 14, stop using credit cards. If you do not have the money to spend on a particular item, skip it altogether. Credit cards are in the business of making themselves rich off of our lack of self-control. So if you do not have the money to buy a particular item, you have to save up until you do. Those credit card companies can charge up to 30% just for you being able to use their money short term, and they are going to have a grasp on you for a very long time. So getting out of the habit of buying things that you do not have the money for will really help you to live on less now and in the future. Number 15 is to avoid food waste. I know that it's really easy for me to go to the store and buy things for our meal plans, and then something happens and the plan changes and I allow that food to just completely go to waste. I feel really bad whenever I clean out the refrigerator and I have an abundance of things in the refrigerator that I just did not use wisely. So one thing that I'm really trying to work on is to avoid that food waste. And one good thing about having chickens is ultimately, if we didn't use it for ourselves, it can always be given to the animals. But the best use of different grocery items that you purchase at the grocery store is obviously going to be that it's consumed for your family and not for your farm animals. So just really try to avoid wasting food. Be willing to be creative about the items that you have in the refrigerator already available to you before you go and add to that inventory by buying more before you've used up all of the available items in your fridge. Number 16, find new skills and learn how to be your own fill in the blank. So learn how to cut your own hair, learn how to cut your husband's hair or your child's hair, learn how to give yourself a manicure. Learning to do these tasks on your own will save you hundreds of dollars throughout the year. I am able to cut my own hair, which saves $50 every time I do it. Now you can look at my hair and know I'm not perfect at it and I don't do a great job, but what I discovered was every time I went to someone else and paid them $50 or $60 to cut my hair, I never was happy with the way that it turned out. And the good thing about me doing it myself is I can tweak it over the next few days after I give myself a haircut, and I can get it pretty close to where I want it. With Chris and Lane, we were able to purchase a hair cutting kit that came with all of the blades and the shaver itself that allows us to get any kind of haircut that they would ever want done easily and perfectly without any mistakes. So the guards on those hair cutting kits allow you to give your kids, especially your boys, a haircut, and nobody is ever going to know because you're using the same kind of machine. It's just that you're doing it for free. After the first couple of times, you dial in exactly how to do it and you feel a lot more comfortable. That's the experience that I had. The first time I was really nervous. The second time I was a little apprehensive, but not quite so much. And by the third or fourth time, I really had dialed in exactly what I needed to do. While I was getting ready for this video, I found out that they have little stickers that you can buy on Amazon and put around your fingernails so that you can paint your own nails and then peel the sticker off and there's no fingernail polish on your skin. That's genius, and that's the main reason that I would ever go to somebody else and let them paint my nails is because I do such a terrible job. But if it doesn't matter if I get all over my skin because I've got a protective film over it and I can just peel it off, then there's no reason for me to go and get a manicure. So that's going to save a lot of money over time if you are someone who goes and spends money at a hair salon or a nail salon. You can do those things on your own and save hundreds of dollars. I will link the hair cutting kit that we use down in the description box below, and I will also put the link for those nail guards as well. Number 17, be willing to buy store brands. Used to, a store brand might mean that the quality was zero and it tasted like cardboard. But now if you go to the store and you see a Walmart Great Value brand, or you go to Aldi and you buy their store brands, you are going to find that for the most part, those items are made by the bigger name brands and they are just repackaged under the store brand name. So you're really getting the same quality and you're paying substantially less. I know if you buy Aldi store brand, they are willing to give you 200% refund if you're not satisfied with the particular product that you purchase. And I'm pretty sure that Walmart has a 100% satisfaction guarantee as well. So you really can't go wrong by buying the store brand and giving it a try. If you don't like it, you'll just be out a little bit of extra effort to make the return and get the brand that you know that your family enjoys. Number 18 is to delete autopay on shopping apps like Amazon. If you make it harder for yourself to go in and purchase an item where you have to get up, find your payment card information, put it in every time that you purchase an item, I promise that you are going to be much less likely to buy anything online. You are only going to buy the things that you absolutely need and you feel confident that you are willing to spend money on. Because if you're anything like me and you're sitting on your couch and you're shopping on your phone and you have to get up from where you're sitting to go and get your debit card information, you're not going to be that excited about the purchase that a minute ago you had to have. Number 19, be willing to cook at home. Be willing to make the effort to cook meals at home as opposed to going to the restaurant on your way home or for the whole family to go out for a meal. You can save hundreds of dollars every month by just committing to cooking your meals at home. Number 20, find the best deals and the best options available for you for the expenses that you do have to incur on a monthly basis. There are so many options when it comes to mobile services or internet providers that you can save so much money just by finding the cheapest and best option for you and your family. I know that there are mobile phone carriers that charge $20 per line, and that really can add up to substantial savings over the long haul if you're just willing to go to the effort to make the change and switch your carrier to a less expensive option. Number 21, allow for blow money in your budget and do not go over. Chris and I have made an agreement that we will have $50 of cash every month and we can spend that money however we choose. There's no need for clarification or explanation on how we spend that money. It's just completely blow money, so to speak, and is our money to spend at our discretion. Whenever that $50 is gone, it's gone for the month. And if I am able to save up and squirrel away for later on in the year, then I will have more blow money to spend, say when we're on vacation or when we go to a big yard sale. But that $50 is the limit for the amount of money that I'm going to be willing to just throw away on any kind of whim that I get to make an unnecessary purchase. Number 22, be your own delivery service. There is the amount of money that we spend on delivery services is incredible. If you buy a $3 burrito at Taco Bell, but you don't want to get up and get dressed and go get it, you're going to end up spending $20 to have somebody else bring that taco to you. First of all, make your own taco. Second of all, go out and get it if you have to have a taco, but don't pay somebody else to come and bring you something when it is not necessary. Invest in yourself enough to save your money and be your own delivery service. Grubhub is great for people who are trying to have a side hustle and make extra money. So I'm not anti-Grubhub. I'm just saying if we're going to try to live on less, we're going to have to eliminate these kinds of delivery service charges from our budget so that we can succeed long term. Number 23, be willing to wait before you buy that item that you feel like you really need. A lot of times, we can feel in the moment that something is a must-have. I have a couch that has stains, and because of that, I have a couch cushion cover. And that couch cushion cover was from Amazon a lot of years ago, and it really is sort of raggedy and not looking so great. I have thought over and over again, I need to buy a new couch cover. But when I really sit and think about it, the couch cover that I have does a good enough job that I would rather have my $35 as opposed to giving Amazon another $35 and having a pristine couch cushion for maybe a week or two. But being able to extend the time between now and when I do have to buy it is going to help me learn to live on less long term. Number 24 is to learn how to make your own products, whether that is learning how to sew or learning how to grow a garden so that you can grow your own fruits and vegetables, or whether it is as simple as learning how to make your own cleaning products or your own soaps. Making things yourself is really going to be the cheapest way of consuming those goods. So if you can learn a new skill, or if you can learn how to create your own DIY projects, it's really going to allow you to live on much less every month. And number 25 is to make a splurge a very rare occurrence. So if you are someone who goes to Starbucks several times a week, maybe you can change it to only once a month, and you will be able to enjoy the Starbucks coffee, but also enjoy saving that $50 that you are not spending anymore on Starbucks. If you are able to reduce your monthly splurge amount, it's really going to help you to think differently about the way that you spend your money and really be able to enjoy those extras that you get if you get them much less frequently. Well, that's my list of 25. Again, like I said at the beginning, I know this is just scratching the surface, and I know that y'all have so many other great ideas to add to this discussion. Please be sure to share all of your living on less tips down in the comments below. I hope that if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you will do that now. I'm so excited about all of the new subscribers that we are getting on the channel each and every week. It is humbling to me and exciting about the future of this channel and our community. I hope that you will share this video with your friends and family if you think that it could be useful to them as well. I'm really thankful that you're here today. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I love you, and I will see you again next time.